Welcome to Jill's Sandwich Shop, where everything we serve is related.
On the menu today, we're going to be giving you our thoughts about the new RE8/ReVillage announcement trailer after seeing it this past Thursday, and at least seeing it for 10 times because we're obviously obsessed.
That's right, but before we get into that, we wanted to take time to thank everybody again who's been watching and interacting with our channel, giving us comments, likes, and everything. It's been great, it's been a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to having a lot of fun with this episode too.
Yes, for sure, and feel free to reach out and connect with us at our links in the description below. But with that out of the way, we'll be just giving you our overall thoughts about what we thought about the trailer.
Oh man, so I was actually at work when I got to see it, so I didn't get to watch it in the full 4K epicness, but I did get to see it. I was so hyped. I can't believe that you called it out. Was completely amped to just see that reveal for the PlayStation 5. Oh man. It's mixed emotions. How you feeling about it? What are you thinking?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just really happy about the fact that I actually called it out during our last episode. I'm proud of myself. But yeah, it's a lot of mixed emotions at the moment. I also didn't get to watch it live. I was at work, and as soon as I got out of work, I just opened up my phone and I saw it blowing up. Everyone was talking about it on Tumblr, and I know you mentioned it to me too. So I went to YouTube right away and checked that out, and I kept watching because I was like, this looks cool.
Yeah, there were so many little details that I saw that got me so excited, and I'm actually going to be popping on the video and watching through this while we're talking about it, because there's just so many little details that pass so quickly to go over. And oh man, the biggest thing in the beginning, the story coming to a close, is this going to be Ethan, or are they trying to throw us off? Man, they got Chris going on. Oh my god, if they got Chris in there, that might be a little like, hey, it's not what you're expecting it to be. So I don't know. What are you even thinking about that intro?
That intro has gotten me nervous. I don't want it to be Chris, obviously. Ethan, I don't really care about. As mean as that sounds, he had his time. He had his time in RE7, and now RE8 apparently. Again, we don't know if he's actually the main character of RE8. It looks like it because in the beginning, where Ethan in the trailer, when he goes and he talks to this older man, and he's like, "Oh, don't shoot, I'm human," or something like that, and then the man puts, I'm pretty sure that's Ethan, and then the man puts his hand on Ethan's mouth, which is a clue saying that the game is going to be first person again.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. It's definitely seeming like, especially when he's picking up the handgun, you kind of see him aiming while he's walking around. I definitely think it's going to be first person again. I don't know, for how the series is changing and everything, and with what's going on here, I can feel excited about it being in first person because it's looking super horror style. It's not looking like your standard Resident Evil, scary style gaming, unfortunately, but the way I'm looking at it as a gamer, and I'm looking at it as a Resident Evil fan. As a Resident Evil fan, I'm kind of disappointed, but there are points I'm very excited about because it kind of can piece together, like, I don't know, the mutation of everybody, how people are changing. That's kind of how I'm looking at that whole, like, witch factor. So I don't know, but as just a gamer, this game looks just incredible. It looks phenomenal. Honestly, I'm just hyped for it overall either way.
I agree with that. When it comes to the first person aspect, I'm not the biggest fan of that, just because I love the RE2 remake and the RE3, and then all of the other RE games that we've had, except for RE7. It's been like the over the shoulder third person.
Yeah.
And that's just what I'm used to. That's what I love. RE7 just felt very off playing it. And maybe RE8 is going to do it a little better. Maybe the location's going to give it some boost because it's not just like a house. It's not, it's like different locations. You're going to get to enjoy the environment. And so hopefully it won't be as bad as I think it's going to be.
Yeah, and we actually just got an answer to our question that we had on our last one too, about like, oh my god, who is he about to shoot from the rumors, and we get to see he just absolutely lights Mia up. Oh my god, I don't know how I feel about that. What are you doing, Chris? Why? I need to know what the reason for this is. What's happening? That's so savage for Chris. I'm just not used to that kind of character from him. I don't know. Oh man, that was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I know, and Wesker is probably just rolling in his volcano shell, being like, "This is my man. This is what I wanted him to be like from the beginning, just killing people."
Right. Here it is. Oh man, I am excited that he does look a lot more like the original Chris model, aged appropriately to that model, though. It's so much better looking. He just fits much better than whatever the hell we saw in Resident Evil 7. Not a hero, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Even his face, if you notice, like the lines across his cheeks, it matches perfectly with what he looked like in RE6, which I think the RE6 model was perfect.
Yeah.
It wasn't too like crazy with like the muscles or like it was in RE5.
Yeah.
It was just perfect. I think it looks very similar to that, but a little older.
He is looking a little beastly again, though. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of looks like the Hulk without the green.
I know. I wonder who gave him some fashion advice too.
That's for sure.
He had that slick black jacket, looking beautiful.
Looking like a shady individual, that's for sure. I wouldn't let him onto my stars team.
I don't know, man. We still don't know.
And how about the guy with the glasses? They're saying that might be Daniel from Resistance, and then the female in the middle of the witches, she definitely looks like she could be Alex. So maybe our hints were right about Resistance characters making an appearance. What are you thinking about that?
I'm a little confused about having Alex and Daniel in the same game because unless they are working together, which I don't really see why they would be doing that, it would be a little disorganized just to have like a bunch of villains in one setting. Because honestly, I love Daniel. I enjoy playing Resistance, and I think he's the most like interesting mastermind out of all of them. So I think he would be totally fine if the whole game revolved around whatever he was trying to do.
True. The only way that I could see them tying it together is because, with the mistake I made in the last video saying the whole UK thing, it was actually Europe. They are both associated with Europe branches from what I'm aware of. So the way I'm thinking about it is maybe it's kind of the Albert Wesker to Birkin type situation, Maybe Daniel was the, Birkin to her, like how he was with Albert. So maybe we're kind of seeing like the leader and the understudy combining, and they're putting them together in one story, and maybe he kind of gets screwed over or something, and we get a little bit more of an answer about it. Maybe he turns on Umbrella for all we know. She screws him over and he's like, well, forget that, I'm taking you down.
Yeah, that's a good possibility. I think it's going to be interesting if they do decide to put both villains in one game. I'm really looking forward to seeing their interaction and seeing how they're going to work together to defeat whoever, whether it's Ethan or Chris or what their purpose is.
Yeah, that's for sure. I feel like the female's voice that's telling the story in the beginning kind of reminds me of Alex's voice in Resistance as well. So I don't know, maybe I'm off on that, but I feel like that's also a good indication she is in here. How about those puzzles, though, that we were seeing? I'm hyped that there's puzzles again. One of them kind of looks like a repeat, but what about those insignias? You think that's something?
The insignias look really interesting. One of the most interesting pictures in the trailer was the one with it had the umbrella logo in the middle, and then it had 4 different other symbols, kind of like a plus sign shape. And I think one of them was like a horse, and then the other one was just like a bunch of other stuff. And then the one that was like top, like above the umbrella logo, it was a little blurry, so we couldn't really see that. But I'm really interested to see what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's going to be something like pushing a certain order type puzzle to activate, or if it's going to be like in Resident Evil 1 where you had to find the different crests and pop them into place to open the door. I'm excited. I think it would be a lot more fun if it was pressing a certain order. I really like those little mystery puzzles, but I could appreciate a Resident Evil 1, go find the crests. But the other puzzle kind of appeared to be like that, the same as the Resident Evil 4 one. So I'm really hoping it's not 2 different sets of find a bunch of crests and set them up. Because they did do that in the Resident Evil 1 remake where you had the masks and then you still had some of the crests, so that was a little repetitive. But either way, as long as we're getting some more new exciting puzzles, I'm going to be excited about that, because I was getting tired of just running back and forth from places, just getting a key in one item.
Yeah, I agree. And that one puzzle that I think we saw that it was missing 2 pieces, unless the trailer showcased like pieces already put into it. I think it's like a shape, like a beast shape with horns or something like that, and there's like a shield too. yeah, it does look similar to that RE4 puzzle where you're picking up, I think it's like a, what is it, like a fairy kind of creature, and then there's a bunch of shapes that you have to collect, and then once you put them all in the wall, it like opens up, and then you go to the next level. But yeah, I'm not complaining about puzzles. I like them. I just don't want them to be a replica of the RE4 puzzles.
Yeah, that's for sure. And there was the other thing that we were reading about online mentioning how the insignia is important involving Wesker. And I'm just curious about that because, I looked back at the pictures after I had looked at it because it reminded me of the Tyrant Heart, but then I looked at the pictures and it doesn't look exactly like it. So I don't know. I'm curious what it is representing and what it's going to lead into. I definitely want to research a bit more into it.
Yeah, it did look like a Tyrant Heart of some sort, and then behind it was like hay. So it's just like witchcraft mixed in with bioweapons. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure. And there was that other rumor. People are saying, "Whoa, what if that Beast Man is Billy?" But I don't know. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. But hey, who knows? They might try to pull another RE6 and pull a bunch of people in together. Be like, hey, we're tying up a bunch of stories right now.
I think saying that it's Billy is a little of a stretch, but I also like that idea. Just because, like, at the end of RE0, he talked about, I think he was going south.
Yeah.
So he might have gotten infected there or something.
True. Yeah, they did part ways at the end, so his story's kind of left open. Who knows? Yeah. I'm definitely excited about all these new background characters we're seeing too, what role they're going to play. There's another old lady that's playing an ominous little figure role hiding in the hallways like in 7, so I'm curious what the scare factor is going to equal up to.
And even the Beast Man, there was a shot of him kind of jumping and he had a hammer.
Yeah.
So I think, like, what's up with that hammer?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen some similar enemies in the other games that have those types of weapons. I mean, it came down to what in Revelations there were a lot of guys carrying big axes. One of the DLCs for Resident Evil 5, where you're Jill and Chris, you face that mutated enemy that has that big axe. So I'm curious if it's just going to be another one of those guys that maybe just follows you around a little bit more. Will he be a Nemesis chase type character? Is that what the Beast guy is going to be? Who knows?
Yeah, and we don't even know if it's going to be just, like one Beast Man or if it's going to be a bunch of them that you need to kill throughout the game. I think it'd be better if it's just one.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how much the chase factor is going to be. You see at the one part when they're in the cabin that there is that arm that just rips through the ceiling and grabs at them. So I feel like there's definitely going to be some sort of chase factor, hopefully no hiding at all times factor going on, that's for sure.
Yeah, but other than that Beast Man, we didn't really get to see other creatures. We saw some shots of like witches. We saw some like crows, possible animal rituals maybe.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I've seen a little bit of that going on.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be really interesting to see how everything ties together, how the Beast Man ties in with the witches and all that. What would you say your overall rating is for the trailer?
So, alright, I'm going to give it 2 separate ratings. We'll go on the Resident Evil scale. So, for Resident Evil series, from what we're seeing right now, I'm going to go with... I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B for now, just because there's still questions that could make me not too big of a fan how they take the story. But as a gamer, overall, honestly, I'm going to give this an S. It's looking like an incredible looking game. Whether it's going to fit into Resident Evil or not, I'm just excited for a super intense horror game, and it looks like they're about to pull it off with this. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think when it comes to the Resident Evil rating, for me, it's between an A and a B. I'm leaning more towards the B just because I was a little disappointed with how similar it feels to RE4. It's just giving me that kind of vibe. And I was just hoping for a completely different game this time. And then when it comes to overall rating, I mean, again, the game looks great. The graphics are good. The trailer was mysterious. It sounds like a good story, honestly. It's interesting. So I would also lean towards maybe an S, like you said. Maybe like an S-. That's what I would give it.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was crazy, though. So many of the things that we guessed from the last episode showed up in here, and it's both exciting and scary, like we were saying still, now that we even got it. So I don't know.
Yeah, that leak was on point, and the timing of the leak too. I think we got it like 10 days before the actual trailer, which is crazy.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see what else they're going to bring. Supposedly there's going to be a little bit more coming in August, so we'll have to keep our ears open for that, and we'll be bringing you more content still in between, but we are so excited to bring you the next RE8 update once it is here for us.
Yes, I'm very excited to see what they're going to tell us in August. Finger crossed for some gameplay, even if it's a little early. If they don't give us gameplay, then I'd totally be okay with an extended trailer or a trailer too. That'd be dope too.
Yeah, even some more information to puzzle it all together. I'm excited.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see what is coming up next. And again, thank you everybody for watching, and we're looking forward to answering more questions in our next episode and getting to your comments on what you'd like to hear.
Yes, for sure. Thank you everyone for watching, and then we'll see you in the next podcast episode.